everyone, and welcome to PAAAS' annual Black History Month Showcase. Tonight we have some wonderful performances by our PAAAS student artists.
But first, we're going to take a look at how history is and always has been shaped by the contributions of Black Americans. As our theme for tonight says, Black history and American history are intertwined, and one can't exist without the other.
Music genres like blues, hip-hop, jazz, ragtime, pop, and R&B wouldn't be the same or even exist without the contributions of African American musicians. Artists like Aaron Douglas define modern art with Cubism from African tradition.
And photographers like James Vanderson chronicled life in Harlem with poignant images. Scientists like George Washington Carver changed the science of agriculture forever.
Black people will continue to elevate our culture to reach the aspirations of equal rights for everyone in our country. While we aren't yet there as a nation, and especially in these times, when it feels like we are moving in the wrong direction, the hope is that one day our aspirations will become our reality. PAAAS TV Production Juniors have created a video with 2 segments. Up first is our Person on the Street style segment, where we ask students to tell us about their hopes and aspirations for the future.
And next, our interview with PAAAS educators will speak about integrating Black history into our school curriculum.
To be resilient and to be respectful of people's culture, and also how certain figures in culture help to improve the movement and improve life for other people.
How people fought for freedom and how they fought for their rights.
You can learn about like the person who's the man.
As Black people, we have struggled for years to fight for our freedom and our rights. And the fact that even today we still are fighting, it's hard.
It's been insightful to see these other figures that have worked so hard to pave the way for others.
We can apply like that lesson by just like facing your fears.
That even though I'm Black and I live in America, I know there are some people who still act like they did from back in the day, that I know I proved my worth. That we struggled, and it's really hard, but we made our way and we're still making our way.
We're just gonna say never give up. One of the things that PAAAS is to help other kids struggling with problems.
Help people and like make them like better.
I want to be a person.
To spread the word and to make sure that even when I'm older and I have my own kids, to teach them that just because you're Black doesn't mean you're different.
Thank you to Daniel Nelgar and Catherine Blackstone for that amazing segment. Now we have Catherine Marpiata and David Salazar with their piece.
African American history is an extension of African history. And African history is the history of the entire planet. All of humanity begins in Africa. It's important that we highlight the different achievements of African Americans throughout the course of our history.
I think the important takeaways are resilience, the importance of resilience, the importance of never stopping fighting, the things you believe in to be good.
You have to understand the racial history of the United States, that everything wasn't sort of all minor roses, so to speak, that we have several events that really shaped our current discussions on race in the United States. Things that obviously were negative.
I think a focused class on African American history is extremely important for our country.
The greatest predictor of future success is past success. If you don't teach Black children their past success, if you don't teach them the amazing kingdoms that existed in Africa, if you don't teach them that, if you don't teach them the greatness of their past, it's hard for them to imagine the greatness of their future. There should be more of an emphasis put on it at times, particularly the events that are not necessarily, I think they're starting to come back.
I can see, like James Baldwin said, I don't care what you say because I can see what you do. And on top of that, let me emphasize, if anyone has a problem with that, they can come see me, and I would gladly teach them some American history.
Thank you to David and Catherine for the thought-provoking segment. Let's take a moment to learn from our history, but also take action by making a positive impact in our communities right now.
Now, for the moment you have been waiting for. Let's give it up for our PAAAS performers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to tonight's celebration of Black history. History isn't history without it. We are honored to have you as we journey through the rich culture, powerful narratives, and unforgettable contributions of Black people throughout history.
Black history is American history. It's world history, too. We invite you to experience it through a powerful lineup of performances by PAAAS's gifted performing artists. From African ancestral rhythms to the words and deeds of civil rights leaders, tonight's program highlights the sound, stories, movements that have shaped our world and will continue to inspire generations.
We begin our program with the traditional South African song, Shatsaloza, arranged by Jeffrey Ames. This piece, often referred to as the train song, was sung by workers in South Africa's mines and is a symbol of unity and resilience. Our soloist, Paige Monica, will lead us, accompanied by percussionist Gavin Owens and Izemwa Nwankwo. The dancers from Dance 1 and 2 will accentuate with complementary movement.
Give it up for the PAAAS vocal performance. Our next piece is a tribute to one of the greatest civil rights leaders, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The words and music of MLK, written by Bono and arranged by Bob Chilla, remind us Dr. King's enduring message of love, peace, and justice. The soloist for this performance is Stefan Roach.
Thank you. Sleep, sleep tonight, and may your dreams be realized. If the thundercloud passes rain, so let it rain, rain down on him. So let it be. So let it be.
Give it up once again for the choir and our soloist, Stefan. Our final vocal piece for the evening is a moving rendition of Man in the Mirror, made famous by Michael Jackson. The soloists, Olivia Masonhall, Samaya Roberson, Osata Ugoe, and Kaylin Mersola, will challenge us to reflect on our actions and make a change, because social change begins with individual transformation. Izenwa Nwanka will provide the heartbeat of the piece on percussion.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. Gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their needs? A summer's disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man soul. They follow each other around the wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message would have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make the change. Na 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 na. I've been a victim of a selfless kind of love. It's time that I realize that there's someone home. I live too long. Could it be really me pretending that there's not alone? A willow deeply scarred, somebody's broken heart. It'll wash your dreams. Can't you see? They got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. You got to get it right. While you got the time, when you close your heart, then you close your mind. With the man in the mirror, I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make that change. No, 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 no. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. I'm gonna make a change for once in my life.
Now we turn to the piano studio. First, we'll hear Endless Love, performed by pianist Stephanie Morales. This song, written by Lionel Richie and famously performed as a duet by Richie and Diana Ross, speaks to the power of love that transcends boundaries. We invite you to sing softly.
Next, we have a classic from the iconic Whitney Houston. I Have Nothing, performed by vocalist Camille DeCozy and pianist Daniel Chavez, will remind us of the vulnerability and strength that exist within love.
video will now take center stage. Beginning with History Isn't History Without Us, an original scene performed by Jaden Thompson and Marquise Randall. The scene explores pivotal roles that a lot of people have played throughout history, reminding us that their contributions are not merely an addition, but an integral part in our shared story.
This is it, Malik. This is our chance to really make a difference. We don't just want to do another boring PowerPoint. We're going to do something that'll make them feel it, make them remember.
I don't know, man. You really think we could change the way they think with just a presentation?
Why not? Think about it. Every Black History Month, we always focus on the same few names. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and then it's like, okay, moving on. But there's so much more. We gotta remind them that Black history is American history.
Yeah, but what if people don't care? What if no one listens?
That's why we gotta make them care. You said it yourself, man. History isn't history without us. We've got a voice, and it's about time we use it. We can't just have it be another year where they skim over us.
But you're the one they listen to, Jaden. You know how to get people hyped. I just don't want to mess up.
You won't. And if anyone talks, let them. We're not doing this to be liked. We're doing it because it matters. Remember when they left out any mention of Black soldiers in history class last month? Like they didn't exist? If we don't do something, who will?
Yeah, you're right. But it's not just history class. It's the whole system, Jaden.
Exactly. That's why we gotta make them ignore us. We've got a voice, and it's about time people hear it.
I'm sick of being pushed aside and not seen.
Then let's make them see us. It's about time people see the potential that we have.
All right, let's do it.
That's what I'm talking about. So we open up with a quote from Langston Hughes, and then we hit them with the facts, the true stuff that people don't know about. I'm talking Black Wall Street, the Tuskegee Airmen, the real stories that get erased.
And we end with the challenge. We asked them, what will you do to make sure Black history isn't forgotten?
Yes, make them think. Make them realize this isn't just about us. It's about everyone.
We might actually pull this off.
Of course we will.
Continuing in the theater segment, we have Dr. King Tribute, a moving spoken word piece. Gabriel De Jesus, Madison Torres, and Malachi Sykes Kennedy will honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a man whose dream continues to inspire us all.
Dr. King Tribute by Othello J. Miller.
Birthed from the prayers of a people in mourning,
Came forth a man-child adorning, rich, mocha skin,
succeeding a lineage of men,
called to preach holy writ, you would sit,
amongst the saints of old,
your ears perched as they would unfold,
the tenets of an unconquerable fate,
till the day God would strategically place
you in a predestined grace,
to be America's Moses,
leading the poor and oppressed
towards a proverbial promised land of rest.
freed from the evils of dehumanization.
You spoke truth to erase this nation,
saying, let my people go.
From the dark and desolate dungeons of inequity.
From the diabolical schemes of systematic poverty.
From the ritual assault upon their dignity.
Let my people go.
Yes, your words danced angelically upon our souls,
awakening a deep and abiding sense of self-respect.
And a people historically held in check.
By lies and terror.
You stood in an era
where straight and spine
meant crossing the line and risking it all.
Yet you stood tall.
Refusing to fall.
A victim to fear.
You were clear.
You were born for such a time as this.
To resist
the shackles of repression and subjugation.
To call nation.
To confront its hypocrisy.
To really make all men free.
when despair and cynicism sought to arise,
You fought to keep your eyes on the prize.
Bravely marching through mobs of murderous hate.
intent on altering a nation's fate,
Moving in urgency
No time to wait.
on the convenience of man.
to accept just grievance against this land.
Of tortured souls.
Though jailed, you stood bold.
Head resting high on an erect and regal spine.
Shoulders squared by a resolute and confident mind.
You charted through regions terrorized by Jim Crow,
Inspiring thousands to know.
Weapons not created by human thought.
but wrought in the omnipotent mind of God.
Your feet were shod.
With the gospel of peace.
Wielding weapons that surpass the logic of men.
You sought to befriend those mired in the sin.
Of bigotry.
Employing love to annihilate hostility.
Responding to the darkness with an unconquerable light.
You continue to fight.
The good fight of faith.
Until your race
Have been effectively run.
Now we honor the sum
of your words and deeds.
Pick up the baton.
and follow your lead
To speak truth in season.
Use our logic and reason.
to eliminate
The trait of white supremacy.
An affront to our nation's democracy.
Dr. King, your legacy.
Will forever honor and respect.
Refusing to let
Apathy, still our advocacy.
Rather working hard to bring to pass.
those glorious words.
Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty we are free at last. Thank you. Come on, come here, come here.
Lastly, our theater studio will present Let's Debate It, a thought-provoking piece that takes us inside a debate practice as a group of students debate a controversial topic.
All right, everyone. Settle down, settle down. Today's topic is something I'm sure you've all got strong opinions about. The question is, should Black history be required in all school curriculums? This is going to be our focus for the next practice round. I want you to bring your best arguments. Emily, Jacob, you'll argue against. Aaliyah, Isaiah, you're for it. Everyone else, listen carefully, you'll jump in for rebuttals. Ready? Let's go.
The fact that we're even debating whether Black history should be required in schools shows how deep the problem goes. Black history isn't an extra, it's not an elective, it's essential. It's American history. You can't understand this country, its economy, its politics, its culture without knowing the contributions, struggles, and achievements of Black people.
And we're not just talking about slavery and the civil rights movement. We're talking about inventors, scientists, activists, people who shaped every part of society. When Black history isn't taught, it's like erasing us from the narrative. That's not just wrong, it's dangerous. Ignorance breeds prejudice.
Right.
Knowledge combats it.
I agree that Black history is important. I really do. But what I'm struggling with is, why make it required for everyone? Shouldn't students get to choose what they want to learn more about? Forcing it could make some people feel like it's being shoved down their throats.
Right. And where does it stop? If we make Black history mandatory, what about Native American history, Latinx history, Asian American history? Should all of that be required too?
Right.
If we keep adding more requirements, where's the space for anything else?
Emily, Jacob, with all due respect, that's exactly the point. Our history has already been pushed out of the curriculum. If we don't require it, then it's left to choice. And historically, schools don't choose to teach it. We're still fighting for representation in textbooks Meanwhile, we're bombarded with European history, the founding fathers, all of that is required. No one questions that.
She's right. I'm Hispanic, and even I know that Black history is crucial for understanding where we are as a society today. You can't separate Black history from American history. They're the same thing.
Exactly, and Jacob, I hear you about other histories being important too. Trust me, I want Latinx taught more widely. But we have to start somewhere, and right now Black history is the most erased. When we elevate that, it makes space for the rest of us.
But, I mean, you're asking people who have no personal connection to this history to study it as if it's their own. How does that help them? Shouldn't people focus on their own history?
Black history is your history, Jacob. It's part of America. It's part of the systems and structures that we all come from. Whether or not you feel personally connected, you benefit from the understanding. Ignoring it only perpetuates ignorance.
But what about the other students? I mean, wouldn't they feel left out if we only focus on Black history? It's like we're still picking and choosing whose stories get told.
That's not what we're saying. Teaching Black history doesn't mean excluding others. It means making sure the story of this country is complete. Once we include Black history fully, it opens the door to include other marginalized histories too. But we can't skip this step. We've been erased for too long.
Emily, Jacob, what do you think about that? Isaiah is saying that this isn't about replacing anyone's story, but making room for all stories, starting with those that have been historically left out.
I just feel like it's a slippery slope.
How?
We're gonna keep adding more and more requirements. Shouldn't education be about choice and flexibility?
Jacob, education should be about truth. And right now, the truth is incomplete. It's not a slippery slope to teach students the full story of their country. It's a responsibility. If we don't teach Black history, we're choosing to leave out the truth. And that's not real education. That's a lie.
We can't move forward until we acknowledge the past. All of it.
I see where you're coming from. I guess I didn't realize how much was missing. I still think there should be room for choice, but maybe we need to make space for this first.
Exactly. And once we've made that space, we could figure out how to bring in even more. It's not about who gets attention. It's about making sure no one gets left out.
All right, team. I think we all got a lot to think about. Both sides brought valid points. But remember, this isn't about winning an argument. It's about understanding each other's perspectives and what's at stake. It's about the future of education and how we shape the minds of those that come after us. History isn't history without all of it.
Next, we move on to the dance studio, where you'll witness a series of dynamic and heartfelt performances. The first is This Bitter Earth, choreographed by Miss Horn and set to the music of Dinah Washington and Max Richter. The dancers will express the hardship and frustration of the current climate, but also the hope that is shared when we realize that we are not alone. Together, we are stronger and connected. Maybe this bitter earth may not be so bitter after all.
Next, we present Rhythms of the World, choreographed by Chelsea Oldfield. This performance is a cultural dance fusion with notes from Caribbean to the continent of Africa. The music choices are inspired by the ethnic background of the choreographer Chelsea Oldfield. Fluidity, flashy, and forward are some of the many words that can describe this dance. So feast your eyes on Rhythms of the World.
Our next selection, Move Your Body, choreographed by Yarleni Herrera and Sorrel Henderson, involves rhythmic hip sways that perfectly sync with the beat of the music. It starts with a gentle side-to-side motion, gradually building in intensity and incorporating subtle twists and turns. Their creativity and movements make this dance fun to watch. It will definitely get the crowd moving. Wait, that's it.
Finally, we'll close with Pearls, choreographed by Chase Mosley. Set to the soulful sounds of Sade. This dance is a contemporary piece that incorporates artistic and modern movements. The song Pearls was chosen due to its message of Black trials and tribulations, along with
As we conclude tonight's celebration of Black History, we hope you have been inspired, uplifted, and reminded of the undeniable impact of Black history on our world.
History truly isn't history without the contributions of Black people. And tonight's performances have shown the power of art, music, and storytelling in shaping that narrative.
At this moment, we'd like to call our principal, Mr. Sneed, to the stage to provide closing words. Please give him a hand as he comes.
Good evening, everybody. Let's give a round of applause for our narrators this evening. Ola and Makai. Well, first of all, I think you guys can give a lot more enthusiasm because that was one of the best that I've seen this year of our showcases. So I need you guys to really give some energy, some round of applause for our young people for what they did tonight. I have to be very, very honest. This is probably one of the most rewarding things of this field of education because today didn't start out too well. I told the students I've been to 4 funerals in 2 weeks. But tonight, this is what we're here for. Look at the work that our students put down there. Look at that work, fantastic. Today we celebrate a truth that cannot be ignored. History is not complete without Black history. Too often the stories, struggles, and the triumphs of Black people have been overlooked, erased, or even minimized. But the reality is that Black history is woven into the very fabric of our shared past. From science to literature, music, art, dance, innovation, African Americans have shaped the world in ways that impact us all. The contributions of great minds, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Marcus Garvey, Madam C.J. Walker, are just countless examples that it is not just Black history, it is human history. When we acknowledge and honor Black history, we tell a fuller, more honest story of our world. We recognize the resilience of those who fought for freedom, the brilliance of those who paved the way in the science and the arts, and the courage of those who continue to stand for justice today. So let us commit to making sure that Black history is never confined to a single month or a single event. Let us carry these lessons forward, ensuring that future generations understand that history, true history, is inclusive, diverse, and rich with the voices of all people. Congratulations to our students. You have done a fantastic job tonight. First, I have to thank our families, your support as a community, your support to our students. It goes without saying that because of that support, that's why we're seeing the results that we have here. I also wanted to acknowledge all of our PAAAS faculty that are present to support. If you could please stand right now, all of our PAAAS faculty who are here. Let's give them a round of applause for coming out and support. I'd like to acknowledge our district leadership that's here. We have Dr. Mastro Giovanni, who is our Assistant Superintendent and Chief of Equity and Inclusion for our district. Dr. Giovanni, let's give her a round of applause. Mastro Giovanni. Now, I'm going to say this group first because I messed up last time, so I'm not going to mess up this time. TV production under the direction of Mr. D'Amico. Let's give it up for them, live streaming our event. Where's our stage crew? Is our stage crew back there? Come on out, stage crew. Let's give them their flowers. Under the direction of Mr. R, stage crew. Outside, you saw our art gallery, which is all of our visual art in commemoration to Romir Bearden. That's under the direction of Ms. Kamani. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Our piano studio under the direction of Miss Lee, Miss Sang Lee. Let's give them a round of applause. Our theater production studio, theater production, that is under the direction of Mr. Miller. Let's give it up for Mr. Miller. Our dance studio under the direction of Miss Horn. Let's give it up for our dancers. Last but certainly not least, our vocal studio under the direction of Mr. O'Neill. And so to close, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is truly an honor and pleasure and privilege to serve as the principal of this PAAAS community. We are in some very, very challenging times. And I think it's very, very important that we understand the contribution of African Americans to African American history, to our history, to American history, but to also be very, very inclusive and understanding with each other. Because there are times often where even if we have disagreements, we need to learn how to disagree without being disrespectful. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like for you guys to give a standing round of applause again for our performers, for our PAAAS community. Let's give it up for our people. All right, y'all can do better than that. So once again, I wish you a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you so much for your support, your love, and as I always say, above all else, be well, be safe, and be blessed. Take care.